How does someone go from YouTube royalty to being one of the most despised influencers on the internet? Logan Paul's story isn't just a tale of fame gone wrong. It's a chain reaction of scandals, controversies, and broken trust that have left his name permanently tied to chaos. Every time he tried to clean up his image, another mess dragged him back down, making it harder to tell where the entertainer ended and the hustler began. For years, Logan Paul's rise looked unstoppable. Millions of subscribers, endless brand deals, and viral content that spread like wildfire made him one of YouTube's untouchable stars. But beneath the surface, the pattern was already forming. He would push the boundaries for attention, cross lines that most creators wouldn't dare touch, and then issue tearful apologies once the backlash hit. Fans forgave him at first, but over time the cycle of shock, apology, and repeat started to wear thin. By the time his crypto ventures imploded, the world wasn't surprised anymore, they were just angry. Logan's controversies weren't one-off accidents. They were building blocks in a career that seemed powered less by creativity and more by chaos. Every headline, every scandal chipped away at his credibility. The more he promised to change, the less people believed him. And the story really turns dark when you look at the empire of crypto hustles he attached his name to. At the height of the crypto craze, Logan positioned himself as more than just a casual promoter. He wasn't sitting on the sidelines, he was front and center, lending his face, his energy, and his reputation to projects that promised life-changing wealth. Coins like Doink were pushed with a mix of irony and enthusiasm. He called it the shitcoin I believe in, making it sound like a goofy inside joke that everyone should be in on. But behind the laughter was a serious consequence. People believed him. His fans poured in money, watching the charts rocket up in what felt like overnight success. Then the inevitable happened. The crash came fast and brutal. Doink lost 96% of its value in weeks, leaving investors holding empty bags while rumors swirled about anonymous wallets connected to Logan. Internet detectives claimed they traced early buys and quick sells to wallets suspiciously close to his own, suggesting he might have pocketed profits while fans lost everything. It wasn't courtroom evidence, but it lined up too neatly to ignore. The internet began whispering words like pump and dump, and suddenly Logan's goofy meme coin shtick looked a lot more like calculated exploitation. But the damage didn't stop there. Doink was just the appetizer. The real disaster came with a project called Crypto Zoo. Launched in 2021, Logan hyped it as a groundbreaking play-to-earn game. The concept sounded like a gold rush: buy NFT eggs, hatch them into exotic animals, breed them, and make real money from tokens. His fame was the marketing engine, and it worked. Within 24 hours, over $2 million flowed into the project. By the end of the launch phase, reports say $6 million had been sunk into Crypto Zoo. On paper, it looked like the next big thing. In reality, it was an unmitigated disaster. The NFT eggs never hatched. The token's value collapsed almost immediately, and those who trusted Logan's promises were left stranded with nothing but worthless images and broken dreams. At first, Logan dodged accountability, pointing fingers at a rogue developer who allegedly stole code and tried to extort him. But then came the investigation that flipped the script. YouTuber CoffeeZilla poured months into uncovering what went wrong, interviewing victims, analyzing contracts, and following the money. His findings painted a damning picture. Logan wasn't the victim of sabotage, he was at the center of a poorly managed and potentially fraudulent operation. CoffeeZilla's series went viral, reaching millions of viewers and galvanizing public opinion against Logan. The label of rug pull stuck to Crypto Zoo like glue. Suddenly, even mainstream outlets were reporting that the SEC and FBI had taken an interest, probing possible securities fraud and money laundering connected to the project. Logan's defense crumbled. His excuses looked flimsy, his counterattacks petty. When leaked messages revealed he considered suing CoffeeZilla to shut him down, it only made things worse. To many, Logan looked less like a businessman who made mistakes and more like a con artist desperately trying to silence the truth. In the end, Logan issued another apology, admitting CoffeeZilla wasn't at fault and promising refunds to investors. But months later, reports suggested those refunds never fully materialized. To fans, it felt like déjà vu. Another empty promise. Another slick apology with no follow-through. And once again, Logan's credibility took a hit it couldn't recover from. If the crypto scandals weren't enough, Logan's history with animals painted another disturbing pattern. From tasering rats on camera to accusations of neglect, his behavior with pets sparked outrage again and again. One of the darkest examples came with the death of his dog, Kong. Logan claimed coyotes had snuck into his yard and attacked, but critics argued he had been reckless by letting Kong roam in an area known for predator threats. For many, it was yet another example of Logan prioritizing spectacle over responsibility. Then came Pearl, the pig Logan once flaunted in his videos. In 2023, the animal rescue group Gentle Barn revealed Pearl had been found abandoned in a field next to a dead pig, traumatized and in poor health. The image of Pearl's suffering went viral, forcing Logan to respond. He claimed he had rehomed her to a sanctuary before moving to Puerto Rico, and that Pearl was later passed to another farmer without his knowledge. But the explanation felt hollow. Once again, Logan was accused of showing animals off when convenient, then discarding them when they no longer fit his brand. PETA slammed him, calling his antics disgusting and warning that his content desensitized young viewers to cruelty. But none of these controversies compare to the scandal that burned Logan's name into internet infamy. The Japan trip. In late 2017, Logan traveled to Japan with his crew, filming vlogs that were meant to be lighthearted travel content. Instead, he made one of the most shocking missteps in YouTube history. While exploring Aokigahara, Japan's infamous suicide forest, his team stumbled across the body of a man who had taken his own life. Rather than stop filming, they zoomed in, kept the cameras rolling, and even cracked jokes. The footage was uploaded as if it were just another piece of content. The backlash was immediate and explosive. Viewers around the world were horrified. What should have been treated with compassion and dignity was turned into entertainment. It wasn't just poor judgment, it was an inhumane display that stripped Logan of whatever goodwill he had left. Critics labeled him heartless. Some even compared his actions to criminal cruelty. And the forest incident wasn't the only problem. During the same trip, Logan was seen disrespecting Japanese culture, yelling in the streets, mocking traditions, harassing police officers, and turning sacred spaces into props for his skits. The outrage became a tidal wave. YouTube demonetized his channel, cut him out of their preferred ad program, and shelved his original projects. Global media painted him as a cautionary tale of influencer excess. Logan posted apologies, begging fans not to defend him, but the damage was done. That scandal became the defining moment of his career, a line he could never uncross. From that point forward, Logan's reputation was permanently scarred. Every reinvention he attempted, boxing matches, podcasts, even his Prime energy drink, was overshadowed by the trail of controversies that followed him. To some, he became the poster boy for how influence can be abused. To others, he was simply irredeemable, a hustler who used his platform to exploit fans, disrespect cultures, mistreat animals, and profit from chaos. What makes Logan's story so compelling is the pattern. It wasn't one mistake that ruined him. It was a repeated cycle of reckless stunts, hollow apologies, and relentless hustles. Fans eventually stopped believing he could change. The trust evaporated, and once trust is gone, money and fame can't bring it back. So the question remains, can Logan Paul survive in the entertainment world, or is his downfall inevitable? Will his relentless hustle somehow keep him afloat, or has he finally burned through his last-second chance? The answer depends on whether audiences are willing to separate the performer from the controversies, or whether his name will forever be stamped with scandal. Because at the end of the day, Logan Paul's legacy is no longer about the millions he made or the fights he won. It's about the people he let down, the fans who trusted him, and the long trail of broken promises. His story is more than just a headline. It's a warning about the cost of abusing influence in a world where the internet never forgets. And if you followed this journey, you know how wild it's been. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Logan can ever truly bounce back? Or are we watching the slow collapse of a star who flew too close to the sun? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and stick around. Because there are even more stories of scandal, downfall, and drama waiting just one click away.